Once upon a time in the bustling city of Baghdad, there lived a humble porter named Hindbad. One scorching afternoon, while resting in the shade of a magnificent mansion, he sighed, lamenting his meager existence compared to the lavish life of the home's owner. His words were overheard, and he was summoned inside. To his surprise, he was welcomed by a grand white-bearded man who introduced himself as Sinbad the Sailor. "I was once as poor as you," Sinbad said with a kind smile. "My wealth was not inherited, but earned through 7 perilous voyages. Let me tell you my story." And so Sinbad began his first tale. "With a small inheritance from my father, I bought goods, joined a crew of merchants, and set sail from Basra. We traded from island to island, our fortunes growing with each stop. One day we came upon what seemed to be a beautiful green isle. We went ashore, lit a fire, and began to cook. Suddenly, the island trembled violently. It wasn't an island at all, but the back of a colossal sea creature awakened by our fire. It dove into the deep, and I was thrown into the churning waves, clinging desperately to a wooden trough. The ship, believing me lost, had sailed away. I drifted for a day and a night at the mercy of the current. Just as my strength failed, I washed ashore on a real island. Exploring, I discovered a cave and, to my astonishment, found it led to a lush valley. This valley was unlike any other. Its floor was not soil, but a carpet of sparkling diamonds. My joy was short-lived, for the valley was also home to giant, terrifying snakes, so large they could swallow an elephant. They hid during the day, so I spent my nights hiding in a small cave, blocking the entrance with a rock. I remembered a legend of merchants who would hurl huge chunks of meat into the valley. Diamonds would stick to the meat, and giant eagles, called rocs, would then carry the meat to their nests high on the cliffs. The merchants would then scare the birds away and collect the gems. Seeing my chance, I gathered the largest diamonds I could find, filled my pockets, and strapped a large piece of meat to my back using my turban. I lay down and waited. Soon enough, a massive ROC swooped down, snatched the meat hand me with its hand, flew me up to its nest. Before the bird could settle, merchants on the cliff top shouted to scare it away. They rushed to the nest, expecting only diamonds, and were shocked to find me. I shared my story and a portion of my diamonds with them, and they helped me find a ship heading back to Basra. I returned to Baghdad a wealthy man, my first voyage complete. But the call of the sea is strong, and this was only the beginning of my adventures." Sinbad paused, looking at the astonished porter. "Tomorrow," he promised, "I will tell you of my second voyage."